is fine?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect. If we focusing... Oh, mention you're focusing on your dive. I see you guys... Okay, are you running in the dive at specific points? Maybe other games? We can also review this one, obviously, but then we have to look into something else. Just want to make sure we...
Yeah. So game one was mainly poke. It's very poke heavy. Game two though was a blend of poke dive and dive as well.
Okay, do you want to focus more on the dive part then? We can maybe skip that, go back to that later. Because we might be
Yeah.
stuck on this for a little bit. I think we also reviewed some parts of the poke before, so I just want to make sure you guys get full benefit.
Yeah. Do you have the second replay, Reaps, by chance?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can get it right now.
Hey, if you guys can send it, that would be perfect.
Yep, I'm gonna send it to you right now. Alright, I'm typing it out. Just 1 second.
All good, all good.
6-3.
Okay, meantime, I will copy...
Alright, I just sent it.
Yeah, I will copy this to you as well. And send it to you, copy new spreadsheet, copying a open... Okay, I think that should be it. You can just readjust this as well, just however you guys want. And it should be okay. I'm sending it to you. Give me a second. It's gonna be here. Yeah, in the chat, right there. Okay. Yeah, it's just gonna be... Oh, I think I should open that, so you guys can do that. Okay, gonna be anyone with the link. You guys can edit. Okay, I think that should do the trick. Okay, let me send it one more time. Okay, is it clickable? Can any of you guys click on that?
I can try it right now.
Yeah, you can try.
Yeah, it opens up
for
fine.
me.
Yeah, okay, it's just an example. You can fill it in later on. Just put all whatever you want in there. Okay, now this is the code. Let's watch this one. Okay, so that was mainly just well, not being on the same page. And is there anything else? What do you guys struggle with the dive?
So I think in this match, we just really struggled, I think, coordinating the dive, but also as well, they were running a bit of dive as well. And I think all of our resources and all of our cooldowns, I felt like were just being used on their one Spider-Man that they had. That's just from my perspective, though, because I wasn't in this match.
Yeah, I see. So this is what your usual mix of a dive looks like?
Yes.
Yeah, on the red. Okay. Let's take a look. So you guys basically run the same comp the entire map, or are there gonna be any swaps? Yeah, it
I
seems
think
there
they
gonna
make
be
a few
some.
swaps, yeah.
No.
Make a couple
Their
swaps,
dive is beating ours.
Okay. Well, let's start with what you guys been working on when running dive.
I believe.
So-
Oh, go ahead. You can go ahead.
So normally, we have a little different than our regular dive team, this one, but normally it's like instant target, like our Venom, which is usually a different Venom. He would coordinate like, oh, I'm gonna dive now, and then we either have a Black Panther or Spider-Man or both, and they coordinate the same person, and when it's on point, it's on point. They eliminate them immediately. I don't think this match we personally had that synergy because it was a little different, right? The play the certain roles were a little different, so they were just trying to make up for it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's usually what I see in the dive perspective. Just from like I said, this is a healer's perspective from what I see. Everybody else might have their own perspective, but yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if I want to hear other perspective, what do you think, Camera?
I think I was there for this match. I wasn't in it, but I was spectating.
Okay.
I think what happened per se was that their dive was just better than our dive. And
Why?
yeah, that I think just the value they were getting off of their one Spider-Man was just way more than what we were getting from our dive comp, and then that forced us to swap off of dive. So I think the big thing, and I think I've noticed it as well from time to time, Sometimes we'll struggle when there's a mirror comp, I guess per se, like when they're also running dive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So just mirror, okay. And also it's partially, do you think it's also partially because of the non-comfort picks? You guys been trying out new stuff?
I think so too. I know when I talked to Justin about it, I think he had told me that we need to focus on 1 to 2 comps and just practice that comp like 1,000 times, to perfect it.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea, usually. Yeah, why not? Okay. Yeah, I think that makes total sense. And especially, I definitely see that a lot of times when you swap to something what you're non-comfortable with, yeah, especially if it's tournament, might be difficult, obviously. You just try to run that composition fully. Just be really effective with that. But it's all right, I think. Okay, I just look into... trying to think about what we can start with. Well, I'll just watch the first fight, see how that's gonna go, and then afterwards we can discuss a few things. Okay, I more interested in specifically divers. Let's maybe look at the Venom perspective a little bit more. So you guys just look into setup. Afterwards, we are probably gonna be calling out the target. We can't hear the comms, but yeah, there should be ideally 2 groups in your case. One group is pushing with Mag, another group is pushing with this guy. Oh, do you have the separation currently, kind of in two groups, or how that works for you?
I don't think so. Like I said, I think our dive just needs to be a little bit more coordinated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is one way to solve that. You can just give everybody their job in a way. That way it makes it easy, especially with this comp, because there are 2 directions with that. There is a poke direction and there is dive direction. So we have to make sure those 2 groups are on the same page. And obviously you can separate on even more groups. A lot of teams, they are separated on 3. I think this is the usual thing, like in Overwatch, they will do that. But your starting group split, let's call it that, okay, group split can be 2 groups. And one group, in your case, can be mobile, and another group can be more stationary oriented, yeah, more long range oriented, okay? Now, if we're talking about the dive group, what characters would include the dive group, typically, in your case?
Like what other dives our team runs?
Yes, yeah.
We do have Black Panther. Then we have Spidey. Then we have people who can play like Magic. All the other dives, but primarily from what I
Well,
witnessed,
what
at
about
least.
now? What about now? What other groups? Just right
Oh,
away.
Spidey and Venom easily, and then
Okay.
maybe Star Lord, just depending on what situation. He could stay back, or he could actually try
Okay.
to get him behind.
Okay. So this is something to start with. You can easily separate on, for example, 3 people is gonna be in one group. So let's call it group number 1. This here with the Mac, and there's can be also this in 1 too, and this is 1 as well. And then second group is this. Obviously, your supports are also gonna be looking at the divers from time to time, especially if you're talking about the Loki. I think they gotta join, but yeah, they're gonna join the dive sometimes in terms of just trying to enable them because they have more capabilities to do so. They're trying to replace the clones, maybe trying to also shoot from far. But see, this is where more complex things starts. You gotta keep in mind the groups a lot of times can be static. I mean, can be dynamic, but you can always, just depending on what's happening, you can add one character to the group or remove that character from the group. For example, in your case, it can be something like Mag, then this Inviswoman, and this Loki staying together in general. Yeah, so there will be 3 people, but then there can also be Spider-Man and Venom and Star-Lord staying together, but Star-Lord at the same time can take different angles. So this allows you to have something like 3-2-1 split. Yeah, so you can have 3 people there, one side of the map, 2 people on the other side, and Star-Lord taking slightly different angle. And then there also can be, because Loki can join the dive sometimes, well, maybe he can support somebody from this group, maybe Star-Lord, maybe, I think less, but yeah, maybe sometimes, and definitely this group. Okay, so this can create like 2+1, but you gotta just form that. Keep in mind, okay, what each job is, and you can have certain callouts within the group. You can have, in your case, to just make it easy, start with the tank calling out what the group actions, or maybe anybody like sort of in-game leader within the group. Okay, we are going in there, and then second group also communicates and tells, okay, we're gonna do this and then do that, and this way it allows you to just be on the same page and try to dive the same area, go on the same target, and it's gonna be much easier for you to synchronize. But start with the group split. Doesn't make sense, the group split. I know it's more of a Siri idea anyway, and you guys can also work on that, but yeah. Do you have any questions?
I
No,
don't, not at the moment. It makes sense to me.
Okay.
that makes sense.
So let's start with Sui Sui. Okay, I'm gonna write it down this way. Let's start with that. Later, can do more group splits. Yeah, generally, you will do something like, might be doing something like around 2 to 2, and then add one person there, and then maybe remove one person from another group. Stuff like that. Okay, generally 2 to 2. I'm just gonna make sure this, all of that in notes. And we can see here, what we want to see when the dive is happening is, if this group goes in, if our Venom goes in, and Style goes in, which actually sort of works out. You see this? This is group A, this is group B, and this is group C. Okay, so you kind of in theory have this, yeah? Do you have that within communication? Yeah, there's another thing. You see your Star-Lord goes in, and you see Venom goes in, and this group goes in as well, the C. What is... Yeah, let's just... What is the potential problem with this? What do you see? So let's just watch this clip. Okay, Star goes in, this dives in, and then your Spider-Man follows up in the pressure. What do you see? What might be the potential problem right now?
The line of sight from the two groups.
Yeah, line of sight is the one. So there's gonna be hard to synchronize together. Yeah, the group C, ideally you guys should be doing something as well in the same area. So it partially can be solved to communicating group A and B, communicating what are we diving, and group C confirming, and group C at the same time can communicate what are they shooting. So you can choose the better targets. Okay, let's maybe, if we're solving the line of sight, what are the better targets for us to go for? Maybe the better time for us to go for. What do you think? How do you solve that then, in this case?
Wait, repeat that again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just how do you solve this dive then? So you will solve the problems with this line of sight. What you should be doing.
I mean, communicating with each other, but are you saying
Yeah.
as the DPS, what they should be doing,
Well,
or
communication
in
is the
general?
one thing. Yeah, communication, generally speaking, well, let's say, okay, we can dive into that too. Who should start communicating? If we're talking about the divers, who should initiate the communication?
I mean, if there's two slash three divers, it should be most likely the Venom, if I'm not mistaken, because the Spider-Man can go in and out a lot easier.
Okay.
The Venom has the slam, so it's like, I guess, when the Venom's ready.
Okay. So your Venom has to communicate, generally speaking. Say, okay, we gotta get ready for dive to this target. Yeah, I'll just maybe write down comms. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that. Comms 3 to 1. I'm ready to dive. Let's go in 3 to 1. Dive the target. Later on, you can even try to just remove 3 to 1 because it might seem slow. You're just gonna be choosing the target 3 to 1. Let's dive X. Yeah, let's just dive something. X is the target. Now, the question is, what do you guys should be diving right now? What's your opinion? What are the best targets for us? If we look in their comp.
Probably try to force runes and then play around that. Like, if they force runes like early, then dive the Loki immediately if they don't have runes.
I was gonna say, yeah. If we're going for a dive against like a comp like that, it would either have to be the Loki just to bait down, or just to bait out the runes.
Mhm.
If not that, or they let's say they use it, I would say we go again for Loki or Luna, since Luna all she really has is freeze. But if she doesn't have that, then she doesn't have any cooldowns really to stop the dive.
Okay. And see how you saying you have to bait out something, and this is gonna be big thing. It's gonna be the idea of cycling a lot of times. Yeah, I'm just going in, trying to bait out. You gotta bait out abilities, and then afterwards you can look for hard engage. Okay, I'm gonna refer to soft engage. Is gonna be the time when you looking to bait out, and hard engage, you are fully committing for the kill typically. And this is how it usually works. And after that, you can reset, stabilize, and it's gonna work out right. But okay, so those are good targets. Okay, sure. Let's see what they dive. Maybe they dive in Loki, actually. Yeah, they're calling that out. Okay, let's dive Loki. But what is the problem with this dive? Because the target is good, but the line of sight is not there. So how to solve that? What you guys should be doing?
If we're trying to work with the dive, try to push up a little more because
Yeah.
the other team they're occupied right now, right at the moment by Venom, and there's only
Okay.
two people holding the front line. So we should have pushed up as a team to get line of sight and then even get heals on our dive too.
Yeah. Yeah, it can work this way. So this group, we're expecting them to just go in a little bit deeper. I think this is where the setup also is going to be important. I don't think you even have to stay here. What if we just literally try to take a little bit more space on the map, go this way, and occupy this high ground, right? It takes time. 3 seconds, 4
Good
seconds,
idea.
Yeah.
doesn't matter. But what if we do that, and then later on it's gonna be easier? That's one solution. Another solution is bait them to walk into you, bait to walk into the group C, so the rest of the groups can collapse. Okay, so see, the idea is it doesn't matter what is happening, but it kind of works this way: that one group is getting pushed. Okay, I'm just gonna call it that. One group is I'm just trying to think. Yeah, let's just say that. Yeah, one group is getting pushed, and then other group is trying to follow up. Other group is trying to take advantage. Other group moves and maybe pressures something. Okay, and you will see here in this case, this group is kind of gonna get pushed really hard. Or then in this case, this group is gonna follow up, take space on the C group. Yeah, they can go here. There's something you can do before, or this group is hard getting pushed. Okay, then in this case, they probably will position themselves like Loki and Luna Snow somewhere over here, so we can dive them, and it's gonna be easier. Okay, it's generally speaking how it's happening. One group does something, getting pushed. Okay, afterwards the next group follows up. Yeah, you can call it that. Okay, so we pretty much solved that, and there are obviously some complications with just the timing. If we're talking about that, how you guys are diving, let's put it this way. You also need to be on the same page. Let's just go back a little bit. Okay, so you see, if the Venom is initiating the dive, then ideally I'm expecting the Spider-Man to go there right away. The Star-Lord going there right away. But Star-Lord going first, Venom going second, and then your Spider-Man goes third. So this is not good. Okay, this has to be solved too. Suite 1, same target. Do it in the right area. Make sure you guys are pushing in together as well. And the dive is gonna work just fine. Mostly. Okay. Does it make sense?
Yeah, so basically a bit more coordinated on the dives, as well as the second group just being more coordinated. I guess, maybe just pushing up more to grab more space, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just keep that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, let's keep that idea in mind. I'm thinking, yeah, just around the groups. Exactly. We want to make sure that there's a follow-up, and I'm also gonna write down the timing. You guys gotta be, especially the dive group. Dive group should be diving together. It's just gotta be. Sometimes there can be exceptions. Of course, maybe you can win your own duel or something, but to be able to create more pressure and force them to do something, you need to be on the same target together. You see the Spider-Man, yeah, why the Spider-Man is dead, and why this feels like maybe the Spider-Man done more is because there have been complications with how you guys been diving. Yeah.
And they have that triple heal combo that honestly you struggle.
Yeah, exactly. And how you play versus that is exactly the timing so crucial, and how you guys are pushing with the group so crucial, because you have to bait it out, and then afterwards you stabilize, and then later we can go in and engage. I think we will not focus on stabilize today. too much because it's another part. I think it's just once you solve the going in together on the same target, so comms, so just the group splits, I think it's gonna be fine.